The return up for Parlow. Leaves it off. Here's Mia Hamm in the box. The shot. Goal. She's got the record.
Hey everyone, my name is Sabria Whitaker and I'm the founder of Grow the Game.
Erica Pioncastelli here, Tokyo 2021 Olympian.
This is Carly Jackson, professional goaltender for the Buffalo Beauts.
Hey everyone, this is Connor Moore, the social media manager of the Chicago Sky.
For the first time in franchise history, the Chicago Sky are WNBA champions.
You are now listening to
Women's Sports Matter.
Women's Sports Matter.
Alideo Gumbawole wins the national championship for Notre Dame.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Women's Sports Matter. My name is Grant Dorsey, and I am your host. Today's episode topic. Well, first of all, I just have to say that I'm not here by myself. I have my first guest on this season, which is my bad for not doing this earlier, but, it doesn't matter now. Today, we're talking U.S. Women's National Team World Cup roster, and I have a special guest with me here today to talk about it. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. My name is Oliver. I'm a writer for Fansided and Women's Sports Exchange, focusing on the NWSL and the U.S. Women's National Team, and I'm very excited to talk about this roster today.
Amazing. First thing, something that has happened in the past 24 hours that kind of has to do with U.S. media and journalists here. We have some GoFundMes going around for Shea Butter and Gal Pal and some other media folks around the States, raising over what did I say, 27,000?
Yeah.
That's a lot. What do you think this means for the future in terms of getting journalists that cover this women's sports here, getting them funding and all that?
I mean, hopefully it does what it's doing. Hopefully it draws attention. I mean, we want to send more journalists that are with the sport all the time over there because they're going to give the best dedicated coverage, in my opinion. So I think that hopefully bigger sponsors will appear in the future, and then we won't have to do the GoFundMe route to get journalists over there.
That's kind of what I first thought of the other day. But it's great that it's happening, obviously. So much money has been raised in the past 24 hours. My mind is just blown away.
Oh yeah, this community is crazy. I mean, it's so supportive. It's great.
So if you haven't donated yet and you want to, I'm going to have the links to all the GoFundMes in the description. If you can donate, that's great. If you can't, just make people know about this stuff that's going on. Want to send some great podcast hosts over to Australia and New Zealand because, quite frankly, I think they deserve it. And they'll provide some of the best coverage out of the national media organizations that are already going. So local journalism matters.
Oh, yeah.
So head to that link in the bio to send some money over, and we'll be very happy to see them on the other side of the world next month. But today's topic, of course, U.S. Women's National Team roster drop. When I first got that email from U.S. Soccer, I was like, drop everything. I have to read this right now. I was in the middle of making graphics for work. And so I was like, hold up. Let me scroll through this list. I was looking for one name and one name only, and that was Savannah DeMello. The only one I cared about, truly.
Lock down those rumors.
Yeah. I just needed to see it to believe it type deal. But do you remember where you were when the U.S. women's national team roster dropped?
Yeah, I was pretending to take a break at work so I could go outside and read the list. That's exactly what I did. It was like what it dropped at 11:30. It was like
Yeah,
11:27 and I was like I need to step out for a minute for undisclosed reasons and then went outside to read it.
it's just, I mean, there's a lot to talk about. I guess really quickly we could talk about some of the injuries that are preventing some people from going. Becky, Mal,
Yeah.
how do we feel about all of that?
I mean, we're gonna miss them. We're gonna miss. There's so many players that you could go on and on. Cat Macario. I mean, Sam Mewis has been out forever, um, and it's gonna hurt. But I mean, we're not the only country dealing with that, so just kind of have to work with what we have and hope for the best.
They better give Becky a send off. I know she
Oh,
doesn't want one. I know she doesn't want one, but like, she needs one.
that's the toughest piece of news I've seen in a long time. That headline was rough.
Like, you know how they did the whole thing for Carly Lloyd?
Yep.
Do it for her.
Oh my
Carly
gosh,
didn't
yeah.
even deserve it.
Oh, 10 times over. I need 10 different Becky send-off matches around the
Yeah.
US so that everyone can go to one.
It's just it's just a shame,
Yeah.
honestly. Like
She
that broke my
deserves all the
heart.
accolades.
Mal, I mean that one, since I'm a Red Stars fan, that one hurt a lot. I was watching the game too, and the first thing I said, I was like, shit, Red Stars.
Rude. Yeah, it's so unfortunate. And she was having such a good year too. She was gonna have a killer tournament, no doubt about it.
MVP.
Yeah.
What can you do? The
It's
injury
rough. It's
gods.
going around.
Well, England too.
Yeah.
It's probably the same level as bad. Are there any other ones where it's like too many injuries? France is
Yeah.
another one.
France is struggling.
Spain
Yeah.
has other issues.
Yeah, Spain has federation problems, which is their own fault. Um, but yeah,
Shame
no,
on
it's
them.
it's it's tough right now in women's soccer. There's still a lot of injuries. It's unfortunate.
So I'm gonna go ahead and read through the list in case people haven't heard the news, which I don't know. You watched that video, right? The roster drop video, right?
Yeah, all 8 minutes of it. Yeah,
Yeah, what was your favorite one?
I'm a Swiftie, so I was just floored that she was in there. Which I shouldn't be surprised because Alex
I
Morgan,
wasn't
but
surprised.
but I don't know. I guess I just didn't expect it, and then it kept going. Like John Cena,
Yeah.
Quinita Brunson, like that. Wow. Yeah, well done,
I was
US.
like trying to guess too, like who are they gonna
Who was
say? Like
yeah,
with the hints. Well, as soon as I saw Taylor Swift, I was like, okay, Alex Morgan.
obviously. Tina Fey doing Sonnet. You had
Yeah.
Lil Wayne doing Crystal. That was nuts.
I like the John Cena one for Lynn Williams.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
was
Tough,
fun.
tough announcing, tough.
Yes. Okay, roster. We'll start with goalkeepers. And honestly, like we'll go through it, like the four different categories, and we'll start with goalkeepers and like do a little like analysis on that, and then when we're done, move on to the next one. So goalkeepers, Aubrey Kingsbury, Casey Murphy, Alyssa Nair. Thoughts?
I mean, I think the big name there is going to be Kingsbury. I mean, we all kind of that third goalkeeper spot was sort of a question mark with Franch not getting minutes with the current this year, not as many as she normally does. So I think Kingsbury clinched that spot right barely up until the deadline. But the other two, I mean, that was kind of expected. You don't go to a major tournament without Alyssa Nair. And Murphy's been Vlaco's number two for quite a while now. So
I'd be surprised to see how minutes go in terms of between Alyssa and Casey.
yeah.
If he's gonna save Alyssa for later, I guess, and let Casey take care of the group stage. But you never know. It's Blacko for crying out
Yeah.
loud.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, in 2019, Nair did everything. So this will be, but Vlaco likes to rotate. So who knows?
Even with their struggles with the Red Stars, which I mean, defense is a whole other thing too
Yeah.
with goalies. Like it's not entirely the goalie's fault that the ball goes in. But I I mean, also, Alyssa's the only Red Star on this entire roster.
Yeah, that's true. hmm But I mean,
Probably.
because of their struggle, she, I believe, is either has the most or is very much up there for saves this year
Yeah,
in the NWSL because she has to make so many. So in another
too
way, that,
many.
she gets a lot of practice.
Any other goalies do you think that he was considering besides French?
I don't think so. I think at this point it was a call between those two. What about you? You think?
Well, this is a reference to the 39 names, which I don't have a list of 39 people. I can tell you right now that I only have 24. No, 25. And there's only a few goalies on here. So that's for later when we talk about that video clip.
Yeah.
Um, defenders time. Alana Cook, Crystal Dunn, Emily Fox, Naomi Gurma, Sophia Huerta, Kelly O'Hara, and Emily Sonnet. Thoughts?
I mean, again, a lot of these names we hoped and expected would be there. I think that Kelly O'Hara making her fourth roster is a big deal with her being in and out of injury. I think that bringing Huerta and Cook and Sonnet all from the rain is they already have that chemistry in hand, which is great. I think that this is a really young back line, and that's going to be really interesting to see play out with the unfortunate loss of Becky. You're going to have young leaders really step up, especially in that center back role. And without Davidson there, with her World Cup experience, these are new defenders, and they're going to have to get a lot of minutes in a major tournament. It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm shocked that Davidson's not there, but again, with the Red Star struggles, it's like, well, you don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
happen there. Honestly, when will Crystal Dunn be a midfielder? That's
In
everybody's
another
question.
universe, apparently.
Yeah, but let's see. I really like that Emily Fox is a part of this roster and is more a part of the team now. She's been great.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate that she's a part of North Carolina now, but
I always forget. Every single
I
game
know.
without fail, I forget. And I
It's
should
kind of like
know, but I don't.
I almost said that she was a part of racing for a
Yeah.
second.
Every
So
time I see her in the North Carolina jersey, I'm like, is that Fox? When did she get here? I do this every week. We're like 13 weeks into the season. Oh my God.
yeah, it's too much to remember
Yeah.
everything that happens.
Yeah. But she's been doing great for them. So that'll carry over.
Anyone that you think was snubbed.
I mean, you got to hurt for Davidson, obviously with her injury and then coming back, and the Red Stars just having a rough go for it. I think Carson Pickett would have been a great inclusion as well. Maybe just not there yet, not enough minutes with the national team. Hopefully, we'll see her in the next rotation. We saw Haley Mace a little bit get some minutes earlier in the year, but once again, that it's a tough call. But
I'm gonna bring up one more red star. Casey
oh yeah,
Kruger.
Casey Kruger.
Yeah,
Is unfortunate as well.
I feel like she should be there.
I
More than
think,
Davidson.
yeah, I could see that. I think, you know, I really think it's a Chicago thing, unfortunately for Chicago. It's real rough
Bad
to
luck.
watch. Yeah, but I think that took her out of contention. Obviously, she has those incredible crossing abilities, but I think that Vlaco is taking his chances on Huerta delivering those in. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate that she's missing out. Hopefully, we'll see her come back into play before Olympic roster drops.
Time now for midfielders, starting off with, of course, Savannah DeMello. Um, her first World Cup has not been capped yet
Mhm.
with the national team. Followed by Julie Ertz, Lindsay Horan, Roosevelt, Christy Mewis, Ashley Sanchez, and Andy Sullivan. Thoughts?
I think it's a strong midfield you got there. I think that a lot of those are consistent starters. I think that we were all a little worried. I was in particularly very worried about Rose making this roster. We haven't seen her with the Reigns since April, but Vlaco said that he's confident that she'll be back from injury, so she made it on there, thankfully. Gonna need her. Sanchez, awesome inclusion, so creative, doing so well for the Spirit this year. Same for Sullivan. But yeah, the big splash here is that DeMello curveball, uncapped, the first player since 2003 to go uncapped to the World Cup. That's wild. I can't imagine the pressure. But she's been doing great for racing. So
A lot of goals outside the box.
mm,
I am very excited about Andy Sullivan. When that sale happened for the jerseys, I got my Sullivan jersey because I've always wanted one, but I'm not going to buy a Spirit one because they beat us in the final.
on
So
principle,
so I got a US Women's National Team jersey, my
there
first
you go.
one. Julie Ertz. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like the name heard around the world when that roster dropped a few months ago, and everybody
yeah,
was floored. I mean,
I was shocked. I was like,
yeah,
what the hell? What did
because
she
it was
do to
just
deserve
it was
this?
so out of nowhere. We hadn't been talking about her in months, and then suddenly friendly roster, like wild.
Yeah, it was kind of like Kelia Watt, who hasn't played. She was
Mm,
pregnant, who knows what she's doing
yeah,
right now. But kind of the same thing with Julie Ertz. Then she just shows up. And I'm like, do you deserve to do that? If that was another player, would that be happening to them as well? I don't know.
yeah,
But if
it's
we
hard to
were
say.
to replace Julie Ertz on this roster, because, let's say in our eyes, she doesn't deserve to be there, but that's like bad to say, you know? If there were better words that I had in my mind right now, I would say it. But if we were just to magically fill in that spot,
Mm.
who would you pick?
Sam Coffey.
I would agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I think most of the I would go with Sam Coffey. I think that she didn't get enough minutes with this team when she was in camp, and that's unfortunate. And hopefully, we'll see her in the next swing. We also haven't seen Ertz has been in and out with injury, so you never know really with this midfield who's going to be out there until the last minute. So we'll see. But yeah, it's sad that Coffee's not on this roster.
Julie Ertz. Probably there for veteran stuff. Same thing with O'Hara type deal. Flacco's doing his thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you I feel like he was so worried when he lost Becky that he was like, I need to find all the other veterans and they all have to go because otherwise, who no, these kids, they don't know what they're doing. But we'll see how that
Yeah.
works out for him. I don't anticipate Ertz starting matches. I
She
think that
better
she'll be
not.
a finisher, a closer for him.
Yeah.
Knock somebody over when we need someone to knock someone over. So
Last category is forwards. Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, Trinity Rodman, Sophia Smith, Alyssa Thompson, and Lynn Williams. Which name stands out the most?
I'm gonna go with Thompson. I
Yeah.
mean, you're that young, you're signing for a national like that's insane. That's nuts.
What were you doing at 18?
Not that questioning my life choices. I definitely wasn't picking a world roster to be on, or hoping to be on one.
Yeah. When I was
Crazy.
18, it was the beginning of the pandemic. Sitting at home, I was thinking to myself, do I go to real college or community college? I don't have her problems.
Yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about my World Cup debut or playing at Wembley or playing and scoring in my NWSL debut. None of that. None of that was on my mind.
Like, we have things in common. I missed my prom and graduation, but I am not going to a World
But you
Cup this
didn't get a World Cup
summer.
roster out of it? That's
No.
unfortunate. That should be the deal.
I'm gonna have to talk to Blacko about that one because. But yeah, this is solid. Um, Especially with Malpew not going. Now that begs the question, if Malpew was here, who wouldn't be going? Would Thompson sit out or Rodman? Feel like they were kind of like the last two on.
Yeah. I think Thompson would sit out because she's so young, right? So you bring her next time. Um, I'm
She'll
not
be
that
okay.
not
4
that
years from
Trinity
now.
and Soph aren't also young, but I think with their experience that Thompson will be sitting out, and that unfortunately with Swanson's injury, with Mal's injury, that this presented an opportunity, and she's going to her first World Cup, so we'll see what she does with that because that's crazy.
So I want to talk about the clip from Sirius XMFC, which this is what they tweeted out. They interviewed the head coach. Everyone knows him. We love him. Vlatko. He said it's heartbreaking. I made a total of 39 calls. And this is talking about the challenges of telling players they won't be at the World Cup. So I made it a challenge to write down 39 names. I obviously couldn't do that because that's too many people to
Yeah.
write down. I have them all here. Here's the proof. They're all written down. I was very serious about doing this.
Yeah.
First of all, 39. Let's just talk about the number. You're telling 39 people they can't go? Why?
Yeah. I guess at some point you tell them, well, that implies that at some point you told them that they might go, right? Otherwise, why are they expecting that phone call? Um, that's so much. That's so much. Also,
It
I
is a
guess
lot.
do call them. I don't think sending an email is appropriate in this situation. I don't know.
No. There was a there was a clip from 4 years ago that I saw where one of the players that is on the team now got a call from him saying, or like maybe Jill, saying that they weren't going and
Um,
talking about all that, but I can't remember who it was.
was it Lynn?
It might be.
I'm
I'm not
trying to think of
totally sure.
who was really in the pool at that time who didn't make it.
Doesn't matter. I
Yeah,
listened to
it's
the
tough.
clip because before I sent it to you, I didn't. Rookie mistake. I just saw it and was like, "Oh, we could talk about this." So I listened to it, and he said the reason that he called that amount of people is to tell someone, obviously the people that were close to making but didn't make it, I guess like Hatch, Davidson, like that, those type
Yeah.
of
Yep.
players.
Several
He
bubbles.
called younger players to say, "Hey, we're watching your game. You're not quite ready for this now, but maybe 4 years from now, who knows?" So letting
There you
them
go.
know that like he's aware of their game, um, and might give them a call to be a part of the team later. So I was thinking we could play a game.
Little heads up courtesy call.
Can you guess some of the names on my list that I have here?
Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I have 25 names. You don't have to name all 25. But you can name, I'll say 10.
Okay.
Name 10 people that I think he probably called, and
Mm,
this is going off the provisional list he gave CONCACAF last year.
hmm
So whenever you're ready.
All right, let's do this. I'm really bad at counting, so I'm gonna do this on my hands.
Okay.
All right. Coffee, obviously, we've already touched
Yes. This
on.
one.
Korniak,
Yeah.
Davison,
Mm-hmm.
Hatch, Kruger.
Yes.
Man, we're halfway there. All right, lots of players, lots of players. I would say Jaden Shaw. I don't know if you have Jaden Shaw on your list, but in
I
terms
don't think she was on the provisional list, but I can check.
of youngins that he might be checking in on, I would have
Um,
made a Jaden Shaw call.
she is not on this list.
Haley Mace,
Yes.
we talked
That's
about
6.
earlier. Pickett, was Pickett on?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You
Let's see.
have 3 more.
All right, all right. Howell,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Howell, another racing. Trying to go team by team now, and that's not doing me any favors at all. Um, I need 2 more.
Maybe
I
throw a
feel like
goalkeeper in there.
I feel like there's somebody big I'm missing on. Franch. There you go. That'll help.
One more.
I'm trying to think of who was close. I already said Cobb.
Maybe like younger standout players, like maybe players that just got drafted that have been um doing well in the league, like from this year and last year.
I appreciate your hints. I'm still totally blanking, which is super embarrassing. Give me a team. Give me a team.
Well, there's so many. Um, well, we'll say this person's been on the team before, only has like maybe one or two caps and plays for Portland. I don't know
Morgan
how
Weaver.
many. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's on here. That's
Yeah, I'm
10.
sure. Yeah,
I'm
probably
gonna
got a
do a
call.
speed run through this list.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hurst, Korniak, Davidson, Kruger, French, Howell, Mace, Bryan, Coffey, Pickett, Weaver, Hatch, Fischel, Balser, Bixby, Campbell, Stab, Fallon, Tullis, Joyce. Shout out to her for her science videos. Madrill, Niswanger, Cooper, Didasco, Hyatt, Kaiser, and Watt. Allie Watt, not
Mhm.
Kelia Watt. That's just from the provisional list and other people that have been capped recently. Because he said younger players, so
Yeah,
I was looking through that list to see like who might he be paying attention to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
I can't believe I missed Purse. I'm a huge Gotham nerd. All right, good to know. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. We have the luxury and the curse of having one of the deepest pools in the world, talent-wise. So there's always lots of people that are in contention, and everyone could go in circles forever about who should, who shouldn't make
And this is just
rosters.
an NWSL plus me
Yeah,
official
yeah,
list.
that's true.
Not even talking about other people that are overseas doing their thing.
Mhm.
That one girl from Notre Dame that plays at PSG, I feel like she'll be a bright spot for the US in the future. I don't remember her name because she went to Notre Dame. I don't like Notre Dame. So,
Do you have a good reason for it?
um, no. My coworker went to Notre Dame. That's all he talks about. That's his entire personality.
I hate that. I went to the University of Cincinnati, and I make a point not to talk about that.
I'm trying to make my whole brand being like a Husker person. No, I'm kidding. I would never. Um, when I started doing my show at my dorm, I would wear my Husker hat, or I would actually still be in my work clothes to come home from soccer or something, be like, hey, time to record an episode. I have school spirit. No, I don't. Yes, I do. School athletic department that's listening. I have a lot of school spirit. Thank
There
you
you
for
go.
doing
Yep.
your job. Appreciate it. Um, let's see. Any other thing you want to talk about today?
As a Gotham nerd, I gotta give a shout out to Lynn Williams for making that roster. It's been a long time coming. She so deserves this, and I cannot wait to watch her ball out on the international level. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, she has just been fantastic, like for her entire career. So I
Yeah.
mean, this is great for her. Probably ones to watch type deal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, let's see, what else is there? Oh, highest score on the team. Who do you think it's gonna be?
I'm gonna go with Sophia Smith. I feel like that's a safe bet. Just with her balling out for Portland and his love of starting her, I feel like it's gonna be a good combo for this tournament.
And who do you think will get the most yellow cards out of this entire squad?
Well, if we're following recent trends, I'm gonna go with Sonnet, especially in that center back role. Hopefully none of them will be in the box. But she's got that tenacity is the word I'm gonna use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know that Twitter account that um shows how many times Katie McCabe gets a
Yeah.
yellow card?
Yeah.
Someone needs to do that for Sonnet.
Yeah, I don't even really follow European football. I should more, but I love that Twitter account. It's
That
good.
account is great. I'm not an
It's
Arsenal fan, like Chelsea fan through and through, but that is my favorite account, soccer account to follow on Twitter right now. Um,
The consistency is incredible. It's
Yeah.
great. It's good.
But let's see. I'm trying to think, is there anything we're missing that's important to this conversation?
Send-off match July 9th.
Against Wales.
Against Wales. Yeah, it's exciting. I think
5-0 win. I don't know.
something like that. We'll see.
Well, just Fishlock is going to score a hat
Yeah,
trick.
that's true. Oh, I mean, you gotta think about how badly all these NWSL teams are about to start hurting after this weekend
They're going to
with
feel like the Red Stars.
yeah, they even the playing field a little bit, maybe.
Maybe we'll win some games.
Unfortunately, Hatch didn't make this roster, but the
Oh,
Spirit
I
are
forget.
probably
Yeah,
feeling
whatever.
real thankful
The
about that.
Spirit are fine.
They'll probably real happy they get to keep a goal scorer.
Most of these teams will be fine, I feel. Maybe not Orlando, but
I
besides
think
them.
Houston's gonna probably ball out while everyone's gone.
Oh, true.
Yeah, they're probably gonna have a
Damn.
good time because Mexico didn't qualify. So Sanchez and Ordonez are just gonna like make fools of the league while everybody's gone.
Oh boy. They're
Yeah,
just gonna go for a title run.
yeah, there you go. And I mean, there's not that many games when they're gone. It's
No.
it's a
It's like
handful.
3 or 4, right?
Yeah, because the rest are Challenge Cup games, which like
Challenge Cup.
um, but yeah,
Okay.
that'll be interesting.
Well, I guess we've reached the end of our time here today. So tell the folks at home what you're doing, where to follow you on social media, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So you can find me on Twitter at Oliver Hunt with 2 R's. And that's where you can find the links to my work with Women's Sports Exchange and with Fansided. And I will continue to be writing and following along all of the tournaments. It's going to be a really exciting couple weeks.
I can't wait to stay up
Yeah,
to
yeah, gonna
watch.
be a lot of night shifts we're pulling here with that Australia tournament.
Yeah, well, also, like, since I work in baseball, it's like I'm already up anyway.
There you go.
Why go to bed? You can
We've
stay
all been
up.
prepped with the Tokyo Olympics, so this will
Oh,
be
not me.
a breeze. No, didn't do
I
it.
woke
Wasn't
I
worth it,
woke up
trust me.
once. Actually, I woke up for the US-Sweden game and I was like, this is not worth it. And then I woke up and they lost.
Yeah, I
I
will
had an
never
alarm
forget
set.
being awake for that game and just watching us get our butts kicked. It's unfortunate. Hopefully that won't be the case this time. So, watching that Netherlands group stage game with real close eyes.
Oh, that's
So
not going to be an issue.
I hope not.
I don't have Mitoma, so we're fine. Or that goalie that they had, I think she retired.
No.
He
And they
was
have
really stepping up.
different coaching now, so who
No more
knows?
Mark Parsons.
More Mark Parsons.
Although that didn't really work out for them anyway.
Yeah, it did. It did not. Yeah, but tough competition this year. 32 teams, lots of good players. So we'll see how we go. But the three-peat is there. It's gonna happen.
It is there. They're going to be singing 5 stars on our shirt next.
Yeah, have all the faith.
Yes. So time for the part where I say there's stuff in the bio or the description, and you can go and look at all the links that I put down there for you. I just want to say again, if you want to go and donate to these wonderful people that are trying to go to the World Cup this summer, because local journalism matters, the GoFundMe's will be linked down below. Now let's talk about my social media because that's super important. Let's see. You can follow me on Twitter at WSportsMatter and on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Women's Sports Matter. We don't use TikTok anymore. Don't follow us on there, but it's a part of my spiel. So like if you want to, the account still exists. I don't know what's happening with it right now, but it's there. Let's see, what else? Oh, so if you live in Illinois, guess what? My work is hosting a Women in Sports Night, and we revealed our very special guest that will be in attendance, Allie Quigley. So if you want to meet Allie Quigley, buy some tickets to see the King County Cougars next Friday, June 30th. And there's going to be other teams from the area, including the Red Stars, Chicago City, and more. Get your tickets. Link will be provided below. And there's a special offer for girls athletic teams, $5 box tickets. This is not a paid promo. I work there. Let's see. There's so many useful resources listed down below. We got NAMI, Trevor Project, Register to Vote, all that good stuff. You can check everything out down below. I was also on the CHGO Sky podcast recently, where I look so uncomfortable because I sat in a huge chair and I'm 5'2". If you want to watch that, it's linked down below along with all the other interviews I've done. So that's all I've got to promote. Anything else you want to say to the people at home, Oliver?
No, but go watch this tournament. It's gonna be a blast. Thanks so much for having me.
Stay up to watch the tournament. If you live in DC, you can live in a bar for 24 hours.
There
I
you
guess,
go.
now.
That's wild. Good for them. I wish they would do that in Boston. They won't, but good for them. That's great.
Time to have a blast to watch this beautiful soccer tournament happening in Australia and New Zealand. That's all I've got for today. Thank you again, Oliver, for coming on today's show. I really appreciate it. Go follow him on social media, doing some great stuff. It's time for me to go take a nap. Just kidding. I'm going back to watch Deltarune videos because I am a video game nerd. So I'll see you next week, maybe with an interview, maybe just a regular episode. Who freaking knows? It's summertime and I'm still in summer school, so I'll actually be going to do homework now. But thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Women's Sports Matter podcast. Again, my name is Grant Dorsey and I'm your host. Thank you for listening to this episode. I'll see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Central. That's all, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.